2018 Matthew Clark Stir It Up Cocktail Competition. I'm expecting a cheer. So actually today we've got two competitions for the price of one. So we're going to be kicking it off with the wildcard competition starting in just a second. Then moving on to the Stir It Up competition after that, which is 2 rounds, one of signature drinks, one of a speed round, which I'm expecting you all to be practicing and getting your voices ready for, because there'll be a lot of cheering coming on to that. Then we're going to have a bit of a party afterwards, so it's good times for everyone. But we're going to kick off now with the wildcard competition with our first competitor. So please give a big round of applause to Edward. He's from the Blythswood Square Hotel in Glasgow. Always very difficult going first, but at least you get it over with quickly so you can go and enjoy a drink and relax afterwards and watch everyone else. So it's great. Just a quick introduction to our judges for the wildcard competition. We've got Danny from Absolute. And we've got Neil from Matthew Clark. Bit of a lackluster applause there for Neil, but anyway, we all know him, so that's good. So I think we should really kick it off. So guys, if you want to, you gonna stay there? You want to come in? We're gonna stay there. You're gonna stay there, great. So we got a timer ready. Yeah. Timer's ready. Good. So when you're ready, Edward, let's kick off.
Can you hear me? Is it my phone?
Yes, it is.
Hi guys, welcome. My name is Edward. I come from Blythswood Hotel, but originally I'm from Latvia. And we're competing here today for a chance to win a trip to Absolute Vodka Distillery in Louisville, Sweden. So I've chosen the Absolute Vodka. Absolute Vodka is known for its pureness and clear taste, but not only that, it's also known for its wide range of flavored vodka. So growing up in Latvia, one of the local fruits that you can get in summer season are pears. So I've chosen to use something that would remind me of my home. I'm using Absolute Pear Vodka. You have to say how much.
I want to know everything.
Okay, so 35 ml of pear vodka. And what is the easiest cocktail that you can make in a bar based on vodka? Probably vodka soda. So the guests are usually asking for light cordial with their vodka soda to give it some taste. I'm going to use fresh lime juice because it's another very summery ingredient, and it's used in a very lot of summer cocktails like margaritas, daiquiris, and mojitos, for example. Sorry, I've used the double measure of vodka. So it's 2 of you, so I was making 2 cocktails. So 35 ml. Next ingredient will be fresh lime juice. 1 ml of that. And now we need something sweet to balance it out, and it's another citrus flavor, and it's widely known in UK. UK is known as one of the largest consumers of tea in the world. So I wanted to represent that somehow in my cocktail. So second most popular tea in UK is after breakfast tea is Earl Grey tea, and Earl Grey tea is basically just a blend of black tea flavored with some bergamot essential oils. So I'm going to use some bergamot liqueur to represent that in my cocktail. And the next ingredient will be a Pernod, something that says Pernod probably more than anything else. So it is an spirit from France, and it's quite strong in flavors. And not everyone is a fan of flavors like wormwood, star anise, and stuff like that. So less is more in this case. It's just gonna give our cocktail nice complexity and aftertaste. I'll just give it a taste. That's perfect. need to shake it to wake it up. Not too much, because it's going to add another dimension to our cocktail, and it's going to be the second most important ingredient in vodka soda. And it's not more vodka, it's actual soda.
Went the wrong way on that.
I would have said more vodka.
More vodka, Danny?
More vodka.
If it's out.
Some more ice. And with just a splash of soda, we'll open all of the delicate flavors in this cocktail. I'm gonna give it a nice summery spritz and feel to it. And we're gonna garnish that with another summer flavor. Just a cucumber slice and a bit of leaf.
Ooh, come on guys, you need to get involved in this.
It's not beefy, but
So there you have it. I call it Ren because Ren means pure in Swedish. Just like actual vodka.
Well within the time limit? Well within the time limit, congratulations. Thank you. And yeah, the drink's going to pass to our judges now. They're going to have a little taste of it. If there's any left after Neil and Danny have finished with it, they may pass it around and you can have a little taste of it as well. Just pushing me out of the way to get to the drink, as normal on pretty much every Friday night. Barging me out of the way. Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday afternoon.
I'm not normal drinking This is Tuesday.
So yes, another big round of applause for Edinburgh, please. Congratulations. Judges are going to give it a taste. Just to let you know, the scoring criteria they're working on. They've got appearance, they've got aroma, they've got taste. Also, another really important one is replicability, because actually these drinks, the winning drinks, are going to go through into the Matthew Clark promotion, be promoted as the recommended summer cocktail. So it's really important that these drinks are replicable in bars around the country. So giving these guys as well, the bartenders, a chance to reach that legendary status of actually having a drink that becomes a classic and is made in more than just their own bar, which is really probably the biggest honour you can have as a bartender, beyond fantastic trips to Sweden, and which these guys could win in this round of the competition as well.
Get down, Foster.
How's it going, guys? Lovely. Not giving anything away. This is good.
Literally not giving it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure you guys are really going to get to try any of these. So you may have to actually visit these guys' bars in order to try the cocktails, because Neil is going to finish them all. So next up, we have got Chris Jarrett from Wax Bar and Kitchen in Newquay. Welcome, Chris. So while the judges are deliberating, we'll just give him a quick chance to get himself set up, get himself familiar with the layout of his bar. Any nerves?
Does anyone try this?
No, he's relaxed. Fine.
Anybody want to drink? Anybody?
Guys, the drink's coming around. Anyone want to give it a try?
Just take it off.
Any of the other competitors in the crowd want to see what they're up against?
They're messing around.
How are we going? You ready? Fantastic. Guys ready? Timing ready? Judges? Ready? Competitors? Ready? I bet. I'm showing my age now. Most people in this audience say it. It was from Danny. Danny's just on the brink.
Did you get a free bus ticket?
Not quite that old, Neil, but you know, thanks anyway. You got a free bus because you put it on your expense. So if we're all ready to go, let's give a big hand for Chris. Let's get into it.
I first got handed a bottle of this. Now, I love stout, I love whiskey, so for me this is a dream. I've been using it on so many different things, and my inspiration for this cocktail came when I found out how it's created. The head distiller from Jameson's and the head brewer from Francis and Wells Brewery were sitting down over a beer one night, as most things happen. And the head brewer asked for a couple of barrels of Jameson's that would finish his stout on them. It worked, so they tried it the other way around, and they ended up with this beautiful Jameson's Irish whiskey with those caramel, those malt notes, a little bit extra that goes the extra mile. I wanted to try and bring it back to its roots by introducing stout back into it again. I thought the best way to do that was a riff on the New York sours. You can still get those layers in there, you can see that beautiful colouring, and also you get to hit both of those flavours as well. So I'm going to start off with 50 ml of Jameson's Castmates. I've got the orgeat liquor here, the almond syrup, about 20 ml of that. And give it the lemon juice as well. Dried lemons this time of year. So, obviously being a stout drinker myself, I had to go for the Guinness, keep it Dublin as well, as the name of the cocktail is the Dublin Sours. Lemon juice. What I wanted to do is kick the Guinness up a little bit. So I've added a little bit of chocolate, a couple of dashes of chocolate bitters into there as well. Just to give that extra little bit of punch. Brings out that extra chocolate nose that you get in the nice stout there. Okay. And then finally, in with the egg white. Some nice shake up. I'm trying to incorporate that air into it and get a nice foamy head on top of it. And then chill it right down. I was arguing with a friend the other day. About 2 different ways to dry shake and wet shake. There's an argument for both. I kind of like it this way, just purely because you end up with a slightly better separation, and it's easier to layer. Okay, so try to get it as smooth as possible.
Beautiful head on that. Thank you. I wasn't talking about the drink.
Wash it out. Just what's settling on the rum, the Guinness and bitters down a spoon. Fingers crossed. And up with a nice layer. It's coming through. Finish it off with a little garnish.
Hello.
Bit of origami with the lemon there.
If my shaky hand will let me. You have the shamrock. The Dublin Sours.
Woo! Beautiful. Well, guys. So, big congratulations to Chris. Judges. judges are going to have a bit of a taste of this one. Hopefully, if there's some left again, they will pass it around so you guys can give it a go as well. So while they're having a taste of this one, just a little bit about the brief of the competition. So all the judging that they're doing is based, of course, on the brief that these competitors were given initially for their drinks, which was to create a classic summer cocktail. So all of these drinks should really be kind of embodying the spirit of summertime drinking. It's the occasional sunshine that we get in this country. And when we do, obviously, the one thing that we all like to do is go outside and have a few drinks. So the winner of this competition, as we said, you know, these guys are going to have their drink promoted to bars up and down the country. So hopefully these drinks will be drinks that you'll be enjoying later on in the year when the sun comes out in your local beer gardens. I'll have a try as well. Why not?
You're working.
I'm not going to give anything away. So complete poker face. Are you finished with it?
Yeah.
Cool. Pass it around, guys. Have a try if you want to. We don't have any straws because we respecting the sea turtles. So you guys are going to have to just get in there and trust that we're all very healthy individuals. So next up, we're going to have Antonio from Rum and Sugar in London. You have to get him off. He's run away. He's coming back. It's okay. So yeah, he's our local competitor here in this round. He's gone. That's it. He's had enough. Here he is again. I'll tell you, everybody. So, I should explain, these guys all came through from posting videos of their cocktails on social media for the wildcard round. So, they put up a video of themselves making the drink among the hundreds of people who entered and put up videos of themselves. These four were chosen, so already whoever wins out of the four competitors, they've already done a great job in getting this far anyway. Are we nearly good to go? 1 second more. Rum and Sugar, anyone who doesn't know, great little bar in Canary Wharf, lots of rum, which everyone loves, of course. So I'm assuming, judging by the bottle sitting there, you're going to be using some rum today. Good stuff. So I think we're ready to go. Ready with the timing. Yeah, two timings just in case. So another big round of applause for Antonio. Let's go.
Today I'm going to show you what my grandma used to serve me when I was a child. It's orange juice with rosemary, and then I start to add a little bit of rum in this recipe. So we're going to pre-chill the glass, make sure it's nice and cold. Put it on side. And for this cocktail, I work in a rum bar, as you said, rum and sugar. So I got the inspiration to use a 1 o'clock 3 years old. And we're going to start with putting 50 milliliters of that. And this is a Cuban rum, charcoal filter, really good for the summer. And we're gonna marry this Cuban touch with some Mediterranean flavor. That's what brought my little plant of rosemary. I'm gonna just put some rosemary inside the shaker. About 3 fresh springs. Then we're gonna mother this with the rum, start to getting some woodiness from the rosemary, some tangling notes. Basically waking up the rosemary up. All right. Okay, our second ingredient, the main ingredient is gonna be orange juice, freshly picking up from Sicily yesterday night. I've been going all around the Mediterranean picking up flavors.
He's traveled a long way to get here this morning.
That's dedication.
That is dedication.
Kind of a rough night, yeah. So we're gonna, okay, let me get this a little bit more. We want to get 50 milliliters of orange juice. So yeah, this cocktail is best to be drink like at 12 o'clock at noon. It's gonna be really refreshing, energetic. Orange juice is full of vitamin C, vitamin B. So we want to get our mood up for the rest of the day. Yeah?
Good for you. One of your 5 a day, everyone.
Oh, exactly. Full of dietary fibers and all the, we want to get healthy in Italy, especially in Sicily. All right, just the last one. All right, so 50 milliliters of orange juice. Then we're gonna add some rosemary syrup, really easy to make at home, about 15 milliliters of that. In a ratio of 2:1, 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and basically as much rosemary as you can. Then we're gonna balance the sweetness with 50 milliliters of fresh lime juice from Persia. Tunisia. It's from Tunisia.
I'm sure they have Tesco's in Persia if it still exists.
We're gonna give it a kick with some black pepper, just a couple sprigs of that. And then yeah, it's time to shake it. We're gonna give it a good about 10-second shake. With our want to make sure to double strain this so we don't get any weird peppery beads or any rosemary inside our cocktail.
You can cheer at this point, though.
There you go. Just going to give it a nice, just put the aroma some orange zest around. And then for a garnish, you're going to use an orange peel. We cut it. A little rosemary.
Round of applause for that piece of lemon. Look at that, guy. Antonio Lemon Hands.
A little rosemary flower. And just a sprig of black pepper on top. Here we go. Mediterranean.
Big congratulations to Antonio. This drink is going to go over to the judges again. Hopefully we get to try it afterwards. There we go. Service as always. Don't worry, don't get up. So judges are going to have a little bit of a taste of this one, a bit of a deliberation, and then we have got next up we've got Stevie. So if you want to come out here and start getting yourself ready. Stevie! Here he is. There we go. A lot of serious thought going into this. Taking it back to the first time you ever had a cocktail, really.
And everything was great. Should be a first.
Again, not giving anything away.
Yes.
You on your barbecue today? But a great barback. Just started off doing a bit of cleaning up behind the bar. Good to see you then.
I think I can
Back to his early days in the local pub. So should you take this opportunity to give a big thanks to the sponsors of this particular round, which is Pernod Ricard. So everyone give a round of applause for Pernod Ricard. So yeah, they have very kindly sponsored, very generously sponsored the wildcard round, and are also providing the amazing prize, which is what these guys are all playing for. Apart from obviously the glory of winning the competition and the bragging rights with their peers, they also get to go to Sweden for 3 days. Now, having been skiing in a place in Sweden called R, and then finding out that it's actually pronounced Ure, I'm not actually going to try and pronounce the name of the place. It's what? There we go. It's spelled R. It's very confusing. And the place that these guys are going, the home of Absolute, is pronounced Orthus. That's not how it's spelled. Hang on. Spelled Ahus.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pronounce like that, but yeah.
Have you made the rules?
Lots
A lot of hipster hotels.
So yeah, they're going to have a really great time. I've heard very good things about people who've been over with Absolute before. Never actually been taken over myself, just saying. But yeah, these guys are playing for a really important prize. Ready to go? We're all ready. So, can you hear me?
Yeah. So closing the wildcard event.
I just go straight into it.
Sorry.
Don't worry, man. Just go for it. So yeah, our final competitor in the wildcard round. Another big round of applause. Time, is he ready? Yeah. It's a big round of applause for Stephen.
So closing the wildcard event, I'd like to thank everyone that's an opportunity for outsiders to have a competition like this with the Stereo Wild. There's a type of thank you that I learned out in Uganda, and it's Asante Sana, and you will all clap. So when I say Asante Sana, you all clap once, okay? Asante Sana. Perfect, we're all in. So, my name's Stevie Arroyo. I've just moved to Liverpool. I'm at Soft Dog Sims. It's a beautiful city to bartend in. I always knew I was going to move there. I always get along with the Scousers. Whenever I was at a festival and needed someone to hug, it's a Scouser. But the reason I started creating cocktails, I remember it was my first bar in Leeds. Now I was in Leeds, pressure. I just wanted to, Arc, if you know.
Yes!
I just wanted to sling vodka Red Bulls at people and all this kind of stuff, and dance when Drake came on and all this kind of stuff. But I remember I was sitting, I think I was getting a disciplinary, I'm pretty sure. But the manager came along and he presented his cocktail, not because he was presenting it, just because he'd made it. And from there on, I was like, bartending is for me. This is exactly it. It's creation, it's knowing people, it's knowing what people want. And I just found it amazing. I've been creating cocktails since. And now I'm standing here in front of you in the final, so I appreciate that again. Asante Sana. Perfect. So my story is based on this character called Amelia. I believe you familiarise yourself with the story. And basically it's a short story, which is just the start of an actual series, because I can't help but create story. I'm just doing it in my head. And this is when Stevie, just by chance, and Amelia first met. There is a cocktail for that same night, and there is a drink that goes with it, but that's explicit and we can't share it right.
Later on, he'll tell you in private.
And the indecisive guest is a very interesting one. It's someone that's very cautious, yet put it in your hands as long as you've got positive suggestion. So if someone's saying, oh, hey, time for a cocktail, and you go, listen, this is what you want. This is exactly what you need. And they go, yes, we've all had that, haven't we? We've all had that. So basically, what we're starting on is lemon. Now, use squeezy bowls. It means you can balance properly because this is a very delicate cocktail. If you overdo it, it's ruined. So I'm making two. So an ounce of that in there, but it's a half. And what I've done as a progression since first submitting my cocktail is I've salted the gum. Now, what salting does is it adds brightness. It enhances all of the flavors, but doesn't add too much length. And this is why it's a 2-to-1 gum as well. You can accurately measure it. And that's a quarter of that there. Also, I'll give you a taste of how salted it is. It doesn't take a lot. This is the salt. So it's pink Himalayan salt. For no reason, it's pink. People like pink. Sounds good. It was what was available, and I can't really tell you how much I put in there. I just tasted it, and this is something that's, as we're moving towards becoming more like chefs and weighing and tasting, and moving more towards that, you've just got to sometimes feel it. It's not all about measurements. You just got to feel what it does. So, with progression of the cocktail, then Angostura bitters. Now, when I first was developing the cocktail, it's so light that it was missing something. And this is that je ne sais exactly quite, but I don't ask too many questions again. I very much feel it. So a little bit of that. Grapefruit bitters. Grapefruit bitters is extremely dry, but what it's doing is linking the garnish to the liquid. So 4 dashes of that. Then my choice in base spirit. Now, Monkey 47 is a beautiful gin, and on the clasp, which is on my finger as well because it's important to me, is a pluribus anum, which is of many one. And me being black Colombian mixed with Pakistani white, I'm from a little bit of everywhere. And this is the 47 botanicals, which is way more than most. It's 47%. The story of Monty Collins being an RAF pilot, becoming a watchmaker, becoming a patron of a zoo, owned a monkey. It's madness, and this is where some of the best stories come, I find. So we've got an ounce of that, with 2 ounces.
Time's running short.
Contra adds a little bit of the dry sweetness, but that was what the salted gum adds. Now I'm going to shake.
Clap for the good cheer. How we have time? 25 seconds. Pre-prep garnish like this. Save a bit of time at the end.
So what it's done as well is it's added that pink colour, which is what you get from the Angostura, mixing with the clear liquid. Perfect. And lastly, to celebrate the Great British Summer with a beautiful, beautiful champagne, which me and Amelia are actually going to visit this summer as we visit Epinay. So if you've got any links, please let me know. I want to be down in the cellars, like I'm treating all this kind of stuff. So. And Amelia, this is a cocktail dedicated to you, in your name, forever immortalized. So thank you as well.
Woo!
Now you have your choice because we're saving the turtles of a bamboo straw or a metal straw.
Did we get it in there just in time?
Yeah, more or less.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Slightly skeptical look over there, so one of the time holders, but cool. Well, thank you, Stevie. Judges are going to have a bit of a taste of that one. Give it a try. See what they think. Neil looks like he's just going to neck that now. So good luck getting it in there. At least there's 2 going round. So hopefully Danny will share if Neil's not. So yeah, Stevie was the final competitor of the wildcard part of the competition. So right now we're going to have a little bit of a break. give them a chance to reset the bar and get ready for the Stir It Up competition. So if you guys want to have a quick break, go out, have a cigarette, have any drinks going around for these guys? Down that end for drinks, guys, all the people in the audience. Go down, grab yourself a drink, come back in a few minutes and we'll get started with the next stage of the competition. Give a round of applause for all the guys from the World Cup. So, welcome back everybody. Hope you had a couple of little refreshments on your break. It doesn't look like we've lost anyone. In fact, it looks like we may have gained a few people, so that's good. Even more pressure on these guys. A bigger audience, lovely. So for next up, we have the Stir It Up competition. So these guys have come through their regional heats, 4 regional heats across the country. Top 2 have come through to today's finals. So these guys have already done an incredible job of coming through their heats and the best amongst their peers within their individual region. So all massive round of applause for all the guys who are going to be competing today. So this competition split into two rounds. First round is creating their signature cocktails. So again, the theme is to create a great summer serve, something that can be replicated all over the country and hopefully get themselves into that kind of legendary pantheon of bartenders who have come through and created what we now consider to be a classic cocktail, on top of the kind of bragging rights, kudos, ability to slip into the DMs of all of their admirers, thousands of admirers watching them today. They will also win a fantastic trip to Kentucky as well. So very, very exciting times. So we've got 8 competitors coming up. They've got 6 minutes each in this round to create their signature cocktail. First up, we've got Alex. Alex is from Lab 22 in Cardiff. And yeah, are we ready, timers? Good, 6 minutes. Take it away, Alex.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can everyone hear me in the back there? We'll get to the back. Everyone hear me? Thank you. Thank you first to Matt and Pat for putting this on. A little round of applause for them. So the brief description was to make a summer cocktail, and I know a lot of people normally go for your vodkas, your gins, and your rums for summer cocktails. Things like your Chelsea Rose, Southside, Pina Coladas, frozen strawberry daiquiris for the classy ladies out there. But not a lot of people go for Scotch, and I want to change that a little bit. Does everyone like Scotch? Yeah. Yeah. We for the bartenders. Awesome. Should be an easy sell. So, my drink's called a Lowland Highball. I called it a Lowland Highball because I wanted to do exactly what it says in the tin. Thinking about modern day classics, espresso martini, martini with espresso in it, porn star martini, and martini with wannabe porn stars. Then I wanted to just Lowland Highball. So the first bit of that, the Lowland. So I've gone for Auchentoshan whiskey. I know, yeah. So Auchentoshan whiskey has a beautiful dichotomy between this horrible guttural sounding name and the brand ethos. So a lot of people get quite intimidated, Scotch news get quite intimidated by this brand name, but it's a very progressive sort of Scotch. It's triple distilled, which is the only Scotch that's triple distilled all the way through, which means it comes off the still at about 87%, as opposed to other Scotch that's about 70% off the still. And when that goes into the barrel, there's a lot more interaction with the barrel. This one in particular is American oak, so your bourbon caps. Just going to pick up all those beautiful caramel flavors that bourbon's always carry. I'm going to make 3 of these drinks. I also have little coasters for you guys, so I'm not sure on spec. I've got them written down for you. So we're going to start off with 37.5 ml of our beautiful Auchentoshan. Nice, how do you measure that? One of the reasons I use this as well is because you get a lovely cereal note. The reason the flavour pairing came to me after my nan. My nan was an absolutely horrible cook, but she was a good baker, and she used to make peach cobbler. with time in it. And whenever I taste those two things together, peach and time, it always takes me to playing with PPC football in the back garden. So I'm also going to use Marie Brizard, Pesh. Marie Brizard has been making liqueurs and ansets for over 250 years, so they must be doing something right. She's not making it herself, that'd be weird. She's dead. But the company is still making it. So I'm going to make half a shot in each drink, or 37.5 in all of them, quick maths. Next up, lemon juice. Your run-of-the-mill lemon juice, freshly prepared this morning at 4 o'clock.
Been to bed before that?
No. I had a quick sleep on the megabus. And then some sugar as well to balance it. So I'm going to use half a shot of sugar in each, use 3 to 2 sugar. And then some thyme. So this time, you could either use flavors in complement or contrast. This is going to contrast it. It's got that lovely earthy flavor that goes against that rounded peach flavor of the Marie Brizard. And ice these up and give it a good shake. So I want to double strain this. I'm going to get a little bit of thyme that's been smashed up inside it in there. If anybody's noticed yet, I'm using bamboo straws because I love turtles' noses.
So do they.
Yeah. I'm going to ice up my glass. And so, as you see, no homemade wheels and there's some super reputable across the nation. And we're going to use some of our Primrose Hill soda. So this is a local soda water. Very creamy soda water, just made in the Regent's Hill. Lovely. And just to mix them up a bit. 1 minute to go. Lovely. How much time do I have?
1 minute.
Points for puns here.
Always points for fun.
And for garnish, just bring out some of those thymy sort of notes. I'm going to garnish with a wee bit of thyme. The scotch came up with it. Because I've been talking so quickly. And there we go, the Lowland Highball. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the round of applause. Thank you to Alex. Again, judges are going to take a little bit of time to. See, you got me on the puns already. So the judges are going to take a bit of time to have taste, get their scores in. He's very generously made 3 drinks, so hopefully there'll be a bit left for you guys to try as well. So in the meantime, let's get on. Competitor up, which is Alistair. So if you want to get up and start getting yourself ready. And I'll take this opportunity to introduce you to our esteemed judging panel today as well. So in no particular order, just in the order they're sitting in. I have James here from Maverick Drinks. Applause, everybody. James has made me some fantastic drinks in the past, so a man who knows what he's talking about. Just flown in from Edinburgh, having had no sleep, so maybe today he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's going to give it a go anyway. Next up, we've got Simon from Bar Life UK, who I'm sure everyone will. And then finally, Tom, who's deep in concentration. Oh. Hi, Tom. Hi. Who is the spirits guru for Matthew Bar. Oh, good. I thought you disappeared. So, Alistair is from the number 3 Gin Club and Kitchen in Hull. It's gone again. Fine. Just talk amongst yourselves, have a bit of a song. Here we go, guys. Drinks coming round for you, so please feel free, give it a try. See what you think. Make your own scores. Choose your own winners. We're good? Ready to go? Timers ready? Fantastic. Judges, are you good? You've done your scores? Fantastic. Thanks to right there. Okay, cool. So I think we're ready for our next competitor. So please, guys, give a massive round of applause to Alistair.
The drink I'm making today is called.
Guys at the back there, can you keep down?
So the drink I'm presenting today is called the Lying Cheating Bastard. It is primarily based on lychee juice, a really strong sweet floral flavour, and I'm trying to bring lots of really bold flavours in to make it like a nice mosaic. The drink has kind of 3 stages in terms of the taste. I'm using first off Jose Cuervo Tradicional tequila, and now this is an often overlooked tequila, and it's actually quite neutral. It has less of the complexity of a lot of tequilas, and that makes it a superior cocktail tequila in my opinion. It has 6 months rested in oak, so you get quite a lot of tannins, sort of astringent notes, which is what I'm really trying to push to fight against the lychee juice in this. And then the sweetness of sort of tropical fruit and agave flavours are going to blend in nicely with the lychee juice. Second ingredient is Campari, which I hope should need no introduction. Again, this is my weapon of choice whenever you want a big punch, a big hole in the flavour profile or something you're using in the drink. Obviously, the stark bitterness it starts with is going to hit first, but then that nice sweet orange flavour is going to again blend in nicely with the lychee juice for a finish on the drink. Just 20 ml of that. And now this really is just balancing a little bit of nut flavour, which blends nicely with the orange, in my opinion. Pistachio and oranges, an unforgettable combination. Just 15 ml of that.
Guys, talking it back, can you keep it down, please? Thank you.
Last but not least, 75 ml of lychee juice. And finally, another part of the drink's namesake is Bitter Bastard's Naga Chili Bitters. This is a really powerful, spicy bitters. I'm going to put a drop in the shaker and just a drop in the bottom of the glass. Hopefully, as the drink goes down, the spice will reduce as the bitters get sucked up from the bottom. Let's chill that. Lovely big colour as well. Nice cap of brush just for aesthetics more than anything. One blank.
much to Alistair. And yeah, guys at the back, please show the competitors the respect they deserve by keeping the noise down. Thank you very much. And yeah, we're ready for judges, so I'm going to pass this over. Give these guys a try. No nerves over? All good? Fantastic. Enjoy a drink now? Happy with it?
Oh yeah.
He's got one.
I just like to do this. Make me feel good.
So guys, you've got to try the last drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Everyone's going to be coming around in a minute. So, you know, keep your own scores in mind. Keep your favourite drink in mind as well. Also, guys, anyone who's on social media, which I imagine is all of you, because let's face it, who isn't at the moment? Please feel free to take some pictures while the guys are up here making their drinks. Take some pictures of the drinks while they come round. Get it out there. The hashtag is #stir it up, and then Matthew Clark as well. Tag them in it as well at Matthew Clark Limited Ltd. So yeah, get your pictures up there, get your videos up there, get tagging as well. Tag these guys, tag their bars. You know, it helps these guys as well get their names out there. So really important. So next up we're going to have Tom.
Hello, I've just got to grab a couple.
No worries, Tom. You've got a few minutes. Strong name, good. Extra points from this particular judge, Tom. Hopefully a few puns in there as well, you know, just to keep you happy. I mean, while we're waiting, how important is a pun in a cocktail competition, really? It's pretty important. Pretty important, there, yeah. Word from the horse's mouth. How are we getting on? Are we good to go? Good. What was the time on the first two?
First one was about 4.5 minutes. The second was about 3.5.
4.5 and 3.5. So you know, you got plenty of time. Have a chat. You know, nothing was on. We're doing well, guys. We're going to get onto the drinks quicker than we thought at this rate. But for the competitors, obviously, they've got 6 minutes, so you can use it. Get more chat in there. Why not? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Tom's good.
Good. My check.
Can we hear him?
We're yeah. Loud enough without.
Judges, you guys ready? Excellent. Timers ready? Fantastic. Introduce yourself. Go for it.
So, hello guys. My name is Tom. I work with Skylight and Tobacco Dock. We are here to sort of come up with a summer drink. Skylight is very much a summer venue. We did like a bit through the winter, but the views that you get over the city are amazing. It's a fantastic place to go in the summer, have a drink outside in the sun. This beautiful rooftop, and so we wanted to create something that would time really nicely with that. Going to the sort of summer themes, for me, it's very much about the fruity flavours, and one of the main products I'm going to be using is Patron Tequila. Now, the logo for the Patron is the bee. I don't know how much of us know about the bee, but it's very, very important in the sort of the pollination of all the plants that make all of these fantastic ingredients available to us across the summer. So it seems the right place to start. Obviously, I really, really enjoy tequila. One of the great things I love about Patron Tequila is the fact that everything is done handmade with a lot of care. Again, the honeybee represents that sort of family worker ethos that I think is embodied in Skylight and Tobacco Dock. Everyone has to pitch in together, work hard to produce a fantastic final product. So to start off with per cocktail, I'm going to add 30 mils of Patron Silver. It's going to add like nice sort of like agave notes to the drink, and it's going to also bring through a little bit of peppiness, obviously the citrus notes in it as well. Cool. And the next thing that I'm going to move on to, which seems a natural progression, is the homemade ingredient that I'm using. Now this is a salted peach and agave puree. Sounds a little bit complex. It really wasn't. I made it in 5 minutes this morning. Chucked 4 peaches in a blender with 50 mils of agave nectar and a couple of teaspoons of sea salt. So we spoke earlier about the use of salt in cocktails. For me, it's very important. Like our palates have become very accustomed to having salt in there. It rounds off all the flavours, binds them together really, really nicely. So I think that every cocktail you make should contain a little bit of salt just to bind everything together. So for this puree, I'm going to add 20 mils per cocktail. So this is going to sort of cover the sweetness in there as well because of the agave nectar. Now, agave nectar is actually 85% fructose. So it's going to tie, again, it's going to work really, really nicely with those fruity notes. Peach, the orange that I'm going to use from the triple sec. Now, the triple sec is coming from Marie Brizzard, a brand started in 1755. So, as we've said before, they must be doing something right to still be going nowadays. 100 years later, in 1855, they won the award at the World Spirits Award. Another 103 years later, they won the World Spirits Award again. Hopefully, like today, we can win them another award. So, here goes.
Confidence there, this is always good.
So I'm going to use 15 ml per drink of the triple sec. Again, it's going to really nicely add in those citrus notes to complement the tequila really nicely. This is a twist on a margarita and a white sangria, so triple sec is a natural choice. And then just to tie in all of those herbaceous notes that we get from the tequila, some of the citrus things, I'm going to be using chartreuse. Now, chartreuse is a liqueur that was discovered by Carthusian monks in 1605. The manuscript that these monks got was actually already ancient, so we don't have an exact date for it. But again, they've stood the test of time. It's a very, very essential cocktail ingredient. Works really nicely. I've chosen to use yellow chartreuse rather than green chartreuse because it has those herbaceous notes, but also this has got a little bit more sort of honey flavours that I think are going to tie really nicely with agave notes that we've used in the tequila. It's also going to pair really nicely with the peach flavours and the orange. So I'm only going to use 5 ml per drink. 10 mil going in there. And then just to sort of tie everything together like bartenders ketchups and bitters, it's going to really highlight those peach notes. So per cocktail, 2 dashes of peach bitters. And the last but not least is the Riesling wine. So I'm going to be using Dr. Lucen Riesling. Again, I don't know how many of you know about Riesling, but they have really nice citrus notes to it. As you notice, I didn't actually add any fresh citrus juice to this. So this is going to really nicely highlight those notes of the orange. It's also going to play really nicely with the peach. So it's got a lot of stone fruits, nectarine, plums. Again, like we used the peach puree, this should work really nicely with that. So per cocktail, I'm going to add 50 millilitres. And there we go. So that ties up all of the ingredients liquid. But I'm also going to add some mint.
1 minute left.
1 minute left. Perfect. So just a little clap. It's going to really bring out those fresh notes in it. Now, when using mint in shaking, like we don't want to use cubed ice because if you bruise it too much, then you're going to get chlorophyll coming through. It's going to release those bitter notes in the mint. So I'm just going to shake it with crushed ice, a technique called whipping. Spot on. Right. So, again, there's white wine cocktails are very much becoming popular. That's why I've used wine in the drink. Also, that twist on the sangria. So, we're going to serve it in a wine glass. Make sure we fine strain it just so we don't get any of those bits of mint coming through. Time. And there we go. Just to finish it off, we're going to use the mint so you get those nice aromas. We don't want to put it like up at the top too much so that you get all of that overpowering it. There go. It's going to really nicely add those fresh notes to it, and obviously the citrus we want to highlight. So just a squeeze of orange just over the top there. Nice and simple, guys. Like nothing too complicated. Want to make this easily replicable so that it can be made on any bar, anywhere. And there we go. That, guys, is the Skylight Sangrita.
Well done, Tom. Thank you very much. Get these to the judges straight away. There we go. So a little bit over time there, but a lot of knowledge, I think you'll agree. Good knowledge of all the products on the show from Tom. So while the judges are having a taste of those, before they pass it down to you, next up we have Danny. Woo! Hi, Danny. Busy prepping out the back there. Some fancy Danny's here apparently.
Set, obviously. Guys, do you want to try the puree?
So just trying a few of these ingredients. Go on then, let's give it a try. Yeah.
Anyone else want some plenty left?
Anyone want to come and drink some puree? No? No, wait for the actual drink. Good idea. How did you find that, Tom?
Yeah, it's good fun.
First call? No? Done a few before? So Danny, getting ready now, is from Ghetto Golf in Liverpool. A few Liverpudlians hanging out in the back there, I noticed earlier, so a bit of both sports. Wonderful, thanks so much. Again, poker face, don't want to give anything away. Pass that around. Have a little try, guys. If the tastes in between competitors are not quite enough for you at 3 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, there is a bar at the back, so you can go and get some more drink. I think worth reminding you guys that these guys have already come through their regional heat and have come in the top 2 in their regional heat, so they have been through a whole competition already to get to this point in the final. So you know they could all be really proud of what they've done, and now at this point, it's all to play for. He's got a poem.
Is the mic on?
Good everyone here, Danny?
Hi guys, right?
Ready to go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet, judges, you ready? Good stuff. Okay, well, we'll throw it over to Danny. Introduce yourself, introduce your drink.
Yeah. So, how are we doing, guys? My name's Danny.
Sorry, guys at the back, can you keep it down a little bit, please? Sorry, Danny. Thank you. Over to you, Danny.
Yeah, so, and again, yeah. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Danny. Obviously, work up in Liverpool. You know, if you can't guess, I'm either Irish, Scouse, or even a bit of Scottish. It's a bit of a mongrel, but you know, I'll try and keep true to my Irish roots. But yeah, so with this competition being obviously a summer competition and about a summer drink, you want something that just kind of that brings you back to just sort of the actual, you know, sitting in the sunshine, loving life, and just going, this, you know, I could sit here all day. This is just what I want to do. Watch the world go by, just sitting outside and lovely little like sun terrace, just going. This drink's amazing. Just looking at the sun, looking at everything, and just encapsulating that whole summer feeling that you have. So it's going to be a twist on a white lady, basically, which is, for me personally, I think a white lady is one of my favourite drinks to ever have. And so fresh, it's so light, and it's got loads of flavour as well. I'm going with a rose twist on this because I think it ties in really well to obviously the summer sort of summer encapsulates the rose through this. Yeah, just gotta get myself. Yeah, so it's gonna be a twist on a white lady. So I'm gonna use this lovely Monkey 47 gin. So we've got comes from obviously it's a German gin from the Black Forest. Obviously, Steve was spoken earlier on about the how Monkey himself, he was an RAF commander. Taking starting move to Germany. Wanted to be a watchmaker. Wanted to obviously he ended up like fostering this monkey called Monkey, and obviously he came with this named after. So yeah, it's just 47 different botanicals in it. Obviously you've got the your elderflower, your blackberry, your orange, and obviously you've got the juniper as well. So what I'm going to do as well is the juniper is encapsulated into my garnish as well. So what I'm going to just do for you dead quickly is I've already kind of mashed it up, so you just kind of release all them flavours that come through the juniper. Just like releasing a bit more of that. Get that flavour coming through for you. Just brilliant that. And I think that's just for you guys there. Just kind of pass around. I mean, I will lead it back because I need it from garnish, but get a good bit from there. So yeah, so obviously just moving on to the drink. So with using the Monkey 47, I'm going to use 37.5 mils of that. Go. And I'm going to go with my rose liqueur. I'm going to use 15 mils of this. This kind of ties in with the whole story behind this drink. So it's called the Summer Rose. And I've basically done a little bit of research about obviously Monkey 47 gin, where it's from, what it's got. And it's within the Black Forest in Germany. And there's this lovely little town in the Black Forest, just south of this town called Wilhelm. It's a place called Louisville. And it's just this lovely like forest town, middle of nowhere, just beautiful to look at, absolutely picturesque. And they were just like, all the locals was just like, this place is so nice, but just we don't really get that much tourism, nobody really comes, nobody really knows about it. So we just thought, what can we do to kind of make this place better, make people enjoy this place even more? So we decided to plant a couple of roses. I mean, as you do. So they just thought, well, we'll start off quite small, start off a little, a few 8,000 roses, and just kind of see what happens. It just started taking off. Like people were just like, it's amazing. So like even today, like they've got like 20,000 different strands of roses and like loads of different summer things. And they have this festival every July, which is called the Rose Festival. And this is obviously summer festival, summer rose, and it just kind of ties in with everything. So yeah, so I'm going to use 15 mils of that. No, 17.5, sorry. And it just brings out so many of them flavours that the rose and the Rose Festival just wants to kind of get to your tongue and just go, wow, so nice. And I'm going to go with some 15 mils of some freshly squeezed lemon juice. Done last night it was. 15 mils of that. There we go. I'm going to use 15 mils of this rose sugar syrup. It's just a gift one. It's really nice. Really brings out the flavour of the gin and obviously the rose liqueur that I'm using. And then, with it being a twist on a white lady, I've got some egg whites for you. So I'm going to use 15 mils of that as well. That's all in there. And obviously, with using egg white, you want to use that wet shake and that dry shake and just sort of really get the flavours blended together, get that emulsification going, and just sort of make it a really sort of creamy head up, well, frothy head on again, and really bind it together with that. So I'm going to start off with the wet shake. I'll just get rid of the ice there. Back into the dry shake then.
I know it's not making a noise, but you can still cheer.
That's pretty much boxed off there. Now, with this obviously being a rose, and sort of to kind of get more of a flavour and more of an aroma around the actual actual drink itself. We've got this rose water spray, so it's basically just half poured rose water to half water. Just give that a little bit of spray there. Get that sorted. And we'll just fine strain this in. Now, just to finish it off, obviously with the bit of rose and trying to bring all them juniper berries in there as well. I've got a little rose petal, just laugh it off with a bit of some dried juniper berries there. So, with this Rose Festival in July every year, on the Sunday, they have a Rose Queen. So obviously, this is like it's just the most beautiful girl in this town for this Rose Festival. And this drink, truthfully, is my depiction of what a Rose Queen should be. But, yeah.
Thank you very much, Danny.
Enjoy.
Not for me, unfortunately, mate. I'd love to, but got to go to these guys first, apparently. Oh, yeah. So I think we'll see the standards of this competition so far are really high. The drinks that I've tasted so far have been really good. The judges are going to have a tough time coming to choose the final winner. They're all really hitting the brief of that beautiful summer style cocktail, but all in a very different way, which is really great to see. So next up, we've got Thomas, if he can start getting ready. And this beautiful pink creation is going to come round to you guys as well while we're there. Don't steal the garnish and take it home to your girlfriends. She will know, I'll tell her. There's a lot of serious consideration going on there. I'm not really giving anything away. Oh no, he's got a smile. Oh. Beautiful thing. Refreshing, I hear. He's given something away. One thing. Pass that around. You guys at the back, you're going to miss out. You need to move further to the front if you want to try any of these cocktails. So how many of you guys in the audience are bartenders yourselves? Yeah. Not many, come on. Bartenders out there? Good. All done some competitions before. All hopefully got a bit of sympathy for what these guys are going through at the moment. I think it's hard to, you don't really consider it when you're standing in the audience because these guys are doing such a great job. They're making it look easy, but actually getting up there in front of all these people making drinks is weirdly way more difficult than actually getting behind your normal bar on an everyday service and making drinks for hundreds of people, which these guys do day in, day out, every week of the year. For some reason, you get out in front of a few people and you start to go to pieces, but these guys are doing a great job at the moment. You can do the whip if you want. You're not going to bring back the clap. What was the word again? Desana. Come on, guys, that was pathetic. Again. Desana. There we go. We're ready. Good, perfect. So Thomas is from Dr. Ick's Curiosities in Exeter. Another 6 minutes. Timers, you ready? Judges, we're all good to go. Fantastic. I'm going to pass it over to you, Thomas. Introduce your drink.
So, hi guys. Thanks so much again to Mastercard for the opportunity to present today. This particular cocktail, obviously the brief was summer, but it was summer 2018, so that was a really big thing for me. So what I wanted to look at was, yes, make a summer serve. I wanted to make a summer serve that really reflected the big things that are important in 2018. The biggest one that kind of comes back and is kind of like a repeating thing, and I would even argue is not even a trend anymore, it's just kind of quintessential to the bar, is about sustainability. For that reason alone, I've picked, I wanted to work with Patron, who have an amazing history of sustainability. What they do, once they've made it tequila, they basically they reuse 70% of the water, gets completely cleaned and filtered, and they use that for cleaning and for watering crops. The other 30% still doesn't go to waste, it actually gets added to the compost heap with all of the physical waste, and then that gets given out to the local farms, the local agave growers, and even soccer fields and everything. So like, it's all completely reusable. They're also the first tequila producers to start using their own natural gas facilities, so kind of saving on energy as well. The drink itself, as I said, I wanted to make it nice and summery. Wanted to riff on a kind of classic bartender favourite, which is the Paloma. For those who don't know, it's kind of margarita plus, basically. It's just with the addition of grapefruit. And because of that, what I wanted to do was work with flavours that all kind of accentuate grapefruit. So the drink is using 50 ml each per cocktail of Patron. So it's got, as has been said before, it's got those nice kind of peppery, floral flavours to it, which pairs perfectly because I'll be using a little bit of salt. Salt, if you've ever eaten just grapefruit on its own, like a little sprinkle of salt just kind of really brings out those, kind of, it would be bitter, but they just works perfectly. So it's bittersweet. What I want to do, because Paloma is such a quintessential kind of Mexican summer serve, I want to bring a little bit of the British summer serve into it. So I was looking at some cups. This particularly, I'm using the Bloom Gin Strawberry Cup. The juniper in the gin actually kind of pairs so well with grapefruit anyway, it actually helps with tequila. So that doubles down on those. A very important factor for this, sorry, that was a shot per drink, so it's 25 ml per drink. Yeah, a very big thing for this was making a cocktail that's replicable, that can be made pretty much anywhere that has the ingredients. And even then, like, the ingredients are kind of transferable. So a big thing for me was not using fresh citrus. I wanted to use a citrus, so Funkin make what they call their pure pour, lime and lemon. It's basically just pasteurised lime and lemon juice. It means it's got extended life, the flavour's all there, and it's just, it means that you don't have to, you know, if you're a pub, for instance, that doesn't necessarily always do cocktails, you can just have a bottle of this, and then you just break it out as and when needed, and it's kind of perfect for that. And again, that's a shot per drink. And finally, using a glass spoon per drink of agave nectar. Now, for anyone keeping track, you might notice for a Paloma riff, it's kind of missing the key ingredient that makes it different from margarita. It's essentially just made a kind of weird twist on a margarita so far. So the way I wanted to incorporate the grapefruit was through bringing in another classic British summer drink, which is the gin and tonic. If you've never had tequila and tonic, it's amazing, it's perfect, a little bit of salt in there, kind of perfects it. But this one in particular, made by Primrose Hill, it's just such a fantastic dry. Again, it gets that dryness, but also a little bit of sweetness you get from grapefruit. So again, as you notice, it's actually very little in terms of grapefruit in there, but you'll notice grapefruit flavour comes through all the more just because every flavour that I've used there kind of complements grapefruit and kind of works towards that. And then to garnish, just got a little bit of strawberry and a little bit of grapefruit. And there we go. So that is the cardinal. So for those that don't know, paloma is the Spanish word for pigeon. Someone to look at a red pigeon, basically. So that's the paloma for pigeon.
Well done, Thomas. I was missing that red pigeon reference. I'm glad you did that. You don't want to get your knee wet, Simon, do you? Really? Come on. And it is
Just so.
is that every
It's at the question.
I was going to say, is that a recycled coaster?
Yeah. So it's actually a bottle. It's like paper.
So we are on full sustainability mode here. We've got a recycled agave coaster. Can I eat it?
Absolutely. We've got to try it. Oh wait,
It's not great to eat, I can tell you that.
that's the finding.
It's not an edible garnish. It is a recycled coaster. It's not
Not too nice.
But as we all know, sustainability is something that we're all getting behind, and it's really important in the bar industry at the moment. So it's great to see all these bartenders considering that as a factor when they're making their drinks as well. So we are now over halfway through this first round of the Stir It Up competition. I think you agree everyone's been doing a great job so far. So next up we have Amy, who's just getting ready. In the meantime, have a chat about the sponsors. So I know there's a lot of representatives from a lot of the sponsors here today. So a little shout out to all those guys, a bit of a round of applause for them as well for supporting this event. So I'm not going to go for every individual brand because it will take me all afternoon. But the main companies behind them, of course, give them a bit of a shout out. So we've got William Grant sponsoring today. A round of applause, guys. David has disappeared, so I'm just going to refer to them still as Maxium, even though it's now Edinburgh, Suntory, Beam. So I think I got that right. Hopefully, anyone here from Edinburgh, Suntory, Beam? They're all at the back. They're already drinking at the back. We've got Diageo sponsoring as well. Thank you. Pernod, Bacardi, Catalyst, Remy and Proximo, all of our sponsors. So big round of applause for all these guys. Without these guys sponsoring and also supporting events like this, supporting young bartenders, it couldn't happen. So big thanks to all those guys. The brand's obviously on display for you on the back of the bar. So you've got them all there. I can't remember a list that long. 25 things to remember. It's too much for me. So yeah, big thank you to all the sponsors. Big thank you, of course, to Napa Club as well. And are we ready to go? You think so?
As ready as it can be, I guess.
As ready as you can be.
There's a speaker around.
You got a mic?
Yeah, I'm late.
We're here, Amy.
Are you here, Amy?
Fantastic. So yes, next up we have Amy. Amy is easy like Sunday morning. Amy herself is you easy like Sunday morning? Maybe no. But the venue is easy like Sunday morning. So Amy, I'm going to leave it to you. Take it away. Introduce your cocktail.
Actually. So yeah, easy like a Sunday morning, already said. And what we're supposed to do today is a summer cocktail. To me, I want to do a British summer cocktail. So I want to take you all into like a vision. So you like close your eyes, you don't have to, but close your eyes. And just imagine, you know, it's a Sunday morning, and you've opened your blinds, and there's that rare British sunlight seeping through, very, very rare. And then you've got your tea, chamomile tea, you're loving up your marmalade toast, and today you feel like you're going to stay outside because you can. And you've got your fresh flowers, the mown grass. Imagine all that, because that's what you're going to be tasting, hopefully, when you drink this, that nice British summer flavours. So we're going to move on to the technical aspects. So, you know, marmalade, chamomile tea, gin. How much more British can you get than that? Like, well, not the chamomile tea aspect, but the tea aspect. It's pretty British. So they're the flavours I really wanted to utilise in my cocktail. I researched a little bit, and I came across Monkey 47, which is a spectacular gin made in the Black Forest. It's 47%, but it also has 47 botanicals. And it's crazy because most gins you figure about 7 to 12 botanicals. So to utilise all those other ingredients and create such a complex but somehow smooth gin is amazing. And we all kind of know the story now because a couple of people talked about it. Montgomery Collins was the first creator. You know, he helped build a zoo. This is Max. We like to pretend this is Max. And then after that, he decided he's going to do his long-lost passion of watchmaking. So he moved to Black Forest. And let's just say he wasn't very good at it. And then he decided he would do a gin because he missed gin so much. He created his little gin. We kind of lose that story for a while, and then we come back to Stein and Keller, who came across the original recipe, and they've made it the gin that we have today. So it really brings that past the present. So I use 50 mils of this. Sorry. Just doing that. There's also a lot of citrus and floral notes in this gin, and then at the end you get that nice spark of pine. So yet again, when you think about summer, you want all those floral notes in there. Next, we're moving on to chamomile. So chamomile is actually a botanical that they use in Monkey 47. I didn't know that before I came upon this recipe, so I was jumping for joy when I found out that they actually have that in there. So I use 75 mils of this beautiful chamomile. And it's actually super easy to make. It's literally tea. You just steep it like you would a normal tea, and then just leave it on the side for a couple of hours. Not too much. You want it to be about 2 hours, I say, because you don't want it to be too bitter. And then that's all you do. It's so easy. Anyone can make that at home. And then we move on to marmalade. So I have, this is tip tree marmalade that I use because it's 100% natural additives and preservatives. I feel like at the moment we're going into a future where people are really caring about what's in their body. You know, they don't want any of that artificial stuff anymore. They want to drink a drink and go, oh yeah, I feel so good. So this is what I want to be like with my cocktail. So I have just, oh, shoot, I had the wrong bar spoon. It fell, never mind. So I just have 2 bar spoons of this marmalade. There we go. And then I've just got a half a lemon. So as far as I know, there are about quite a few botanicals of lemon. We've got lemon, citrus verbena, lemongrass, and lemon balm. I don't know entirely because actually 47 botanicals, I don't think anyone will fully know apart from the main group of people who make this product. They keep it locked safe in a little chest where the original recipe was from, and they'll never let anyone know, which is quite a cool little secret. I do know, though, if you ever wanted to make a winter cocktail, I know we're talking about summer now, if we go into winter, there are 7 different types of pepper and saffron. So imagine that lovely winter element you can make with this gin. Next, I just got a 15 mils of sugar syrup. Because if we're making this gin right now, you know there's like a lot of bitter elements in it. So it's just going to cut through that tartness, give it sweetness, and help get all those flavors together. And then we are going to shake this. I don't know if you've ever seen the highlight page on Matthew Clark, but there's a very embarrassing video on there of me shaking. Yeah, pretty bad. So I've learned to shake a little bit better. So here we go. Nicely shaked. this out and put crushed ice in. Sorry, put that there. Then I got my give it a bit of a stir. And then I've got just this garnish I made earlier. So we have a lovely little orange rose that I made. And these are like the vines. So think to the story I was saying about the flowers. You want to be among your flowers. That's in there. And then I've got some lovely little viola flowers just to finish it off. Really bring that drink together. And here we have it. My easy like a Sunday morning cocktail.
Thank you, Amy. Sorry, I did realise that I have a little bit of a misprint on my sheet. So he's like Sunday morning is the cocktail, and the venue is the Aviator Hotel. Is that
Yes.
right? Sorry, so that was my mistake. Apologies for that. Well, it was my mistake. I was reading a sheet. So while the judges have a taste of that and make their scores, next up we are going to have Christiones, who I hope none of you noticed that I made my way over to check my pronunciation on that. But he did tell me he's also known as Chris, so that makes it a lot easier to do. So Chris is from Mediterranean Restaurant in Glasgow, so he's going to get himself ready while we try this drink here. Everyone had a couple of drinks already in the audience? All feeling all right? All good? All enjoying ourselves? There's one person whooping at the moment. This is not going to work. I need more whooping. Good, a bit more whooping there. That's all right. Oh, another one. And then Neil's whooping as well. That's not a good sign for anyone. So again, I think you'll agree that all of these drinks really hitting the brief, really looking at it in their own way as well, and really kind of making their own signature, but also at the same time really following what themselves. How are we doing, Chris? Fantastic. Good to go. He's looking very confident. So nervous. I'm just going to imagine it. Keeping the nerves under wraps. This is good. There's nothing to be nervous about. You do this every day. For some reason, it becomes more complicated when you have to do it in front of cameras and other people. But actually, it's the same thing we do day in day. It's not lights. So everyone, give a big round of applause. From Mediterranean Glasgow, and please introduce your cocktail.
So, as warm season is just approaching and it's just around the corner, people are looking for something refreshing, for something that would wake them up, for something that would ease the transition from winter to summer. And I've got a solution for that. So, today I'm combining two rum classics. I'm putting peach twist on it. So it's daiquiri that came from Cuba, and it's Cuba, which is one of the top holiday destinations recently, and world famous take a drink Mai Tai, which takes you straight to the tropics. So let me put it this way: I'm bringing here long summer nights on the beach, and something that is exotic and tropical, putting it together and sharing it with you guys today. So I'm starting with Bacardi Carta Blanca, 25 ml of that. So, why rum? That's a good question, thank you. It doesn't overpower a drink like gin or tequila sometimes can, and it doesn't disappear in the drink like vodka usually do. This rum forms the base for our drink, the base that comes straight from the Caribbean Sea. And despite having really quite heavy almond and vanilla notes on its palate, it's still pretty light and crispy rum. My second ingredient is French peach aperitif, Wrinkling Twin. So as you can see, it's I'll go with 40 ml of that. So it's actually low in ABV. It's only 15%, and it makes the drink not too strong, and as you will see, not too sweet, to be enjoyed multiple times. And the aperitif itself is really full of fresh and fruity aromas, and it just bursts in bright peach flavors. And its light sweetness combines very well with vanilla notes from rum. My third ingredient is Monin or Jit, just 10 ml of that. So the syrup actually gives not only the sweetness to the cocktail, it gives that light bitterness, that light tartness at the end of the throat, and it provides some depth to the cocktail. And together with Wrinkling Twin, it combines, it forms that tropical and exotic side of the cocktail. Just think about it. Almond and peach. Two flavors are dancing together, are falling in love together. And it just makes us believe that Summer Reborn is just right here. It's just coming. So moving on to balance it out, I'm going with 20 ml of lime juice. Worth to be mentioned that lime juice being double strained, as most of us this morning. It's a small thing, but as we've got pretty delicate flavors, pretty delicate ingredients, it's really important to do it. So we just want to avoid that unnecessary bitterness, that small bits from the fruits coming through. So plenty of ice and a good shake. Round of applause.
Vigorous.
No way. Yes! Yes! This is what we want.
Give us some support, guys! Yay! This has never happened to me at any point in this life.
It's always the first time. It's like a virgin. Yep. And last but not least, I'll apologize. Can I just check?
How much time we got? Minute 20, you got time. Okay, go back there, get your garnish. I want chicken cocktail mixed up the shakers.
Yes! So last but not least, that's Lafroig 10 Scotch single malt whiskey. It adds more complexity to the cocktail. It makes the journey from approaching the glass to swallowing the drink absolutely complete. You're starting with peaty smoky tobacco notes and some peach freshness coming through, and then you're moving on to light, crispy, and fruity body of the cocktail, and finishing it with toasted almond notes. So I go with 3-4 sprays of it.
Three costume changes in 6 minutes.
So as I said, this cocktail combines long summer nights, exotic and tropical notes, and brings it here to you guys. And I'm sharing my summer adventure with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the winter deck. Let the summer adventure begin.
Big round of applause for Chris. I once had a cocktail shaker stick with me during service, and it wasn't until after the shift that we actually managed to separate it and get the drink out. So, you know. No, it was still me. So yeah, these things happen during a competition, and massive congratulations to Chris for working his way through it as well. So judges are having a bit of a taste again, looking very serious as usual. They seriously haven't given anything away yet, except for James letting slip the word fresh once. But that was the closest we got to feedback so far.
You're fresh.
Oh, he's calling me fresh. Fine. I mean, so yeah, the announcements will be made a bit later on, so there will be a bit of a wait before we get to hear what their decisions will finally be. We are about to get on to our last, but by no means least, competitor in this first round of the Setup competition, which is Kaz. So she's getting herself ready right now. But remember, this is only the first round, so there is another round, a speed round still to come. So once these guys have shown what they can do in terms of signature drinks, they now will have to show what they can do in terms of making a drink quickly. So, as a slightly biased judging your nephew's cocktail, how do you think it is? Very refreshing, good. That's the words we're looking for a summer cocktail. So some of you may have heard there is a small gathering of bartenders happening up in Edinburgh at the moment. Apparently, a few people have gone up to Edinburgh for some sort of event. We don't know what it is. Kaz has travelled down all the way from Edinburgh, missing out on this little soiree of bartenders that's happening at the moment. Come and join us here instead. Thanks for doing that. Can you hear at the back? Fantastic, take it away, Gav.
Hello, I'm Cass from the Bitter Rooms. My cocktail today is called the Nana Colada, which has many different levels. A Nana Colada Banana Colada, Nana Colada Ananas Colada, and a Pina Colada Nanana. So we're using Sailor Jerry Spice Rum, which is a blend of Caribbean rums and some natural spices, which are very secretive to everybody. It's inspired by a man called Norman Collins, who is the father of old school tattooing. Made his tattooing debut in Honolulu when he was tattooing old sailors and soldiers who, before they went off to war, went to Honolulu to cause riots. And there we go. So we've got 40 mils of Sailor Jerry going straight in the glass. So I'm building it all in a sling, nice and tall. Within the bar industry, in my experience, if a customer sees a drink going out in a sling and it's tall and magnificent tiki style, they're going to say, I want one of those. And tiki style is something that I'm really fond of. Started in the 50s by the people who realized that people were willing to pay for tropical flavors that weren't accessible to them. Feet in the sand and beaches and sunshine. or merely a dream for a lot of people. So the flavors of tropical in a glass you're willing to pay for, you will realise that this is where the tiki culture kind of started off. So along with the pineapple, I'm going to add some Marie Preserve banana liqueur, which is half a shot. So in the Marie Preserve, we use Ecuadorian bananas, so playing on the tropical notes, and then also a bit of pineapple juice in there to tie everything together. So with the banana, I'm going to add walnut bitters. As I'm sure everyone is aware, banana and nuts is a classic combination which work really well together. 4 dashes of that, which teamed with the banana liqueur makes kind of a chocolatey mouthfeel when you sip the drink. And then 20 lime in there, the citrus elements, and then also 20 pineapple. And fun fact about pineapples, in the 1860s, a pineapple whole was worth, in today's money, £2,600. So very expensive because it wasn't accessible to them, with all the importing wasn't really available. But now it is, and we can use it a lot, which is great. I'm not using sugar at all, just use the banana liqueur along with the quite sweet Sailor Jerry to sweeten it up, but doesn't do anything else. Do a quick churn with the crushed ice. And some more on the top. And then because it's tiki style, I'm going to load it up with a little garnish. So I've got a pineapple leaf, a slice of fresh pineapple, a cocktail umbrella, pink one to offset the browny yellowy colour that is in my drink, and then a straw, which these are actually biodegradable veg straws. And also, just to finish it off, I'm going to flame a bit of cinnamon over the top. It gives a really nice aroma and adds some theatrics of tiki.
Let us have a bit cheer for this one. That was quite a fireworks display, and your response matched the
Just to add that Sailor Jerry is a brand that has a lot of its own branding. It's a brand that everybody knows quite a lot already. But I've brought along some tattoos of the old school style Sailor Jerry, Norman Collins tattoos, some plectrums, and a couple of books, if anyone would like any of them. So I present to you the Nana Colada.
You okay?
I forgot to add the ginger beer, I'm so sorry.
How are we doing for time? Got time? Got time to correct it, so go for it.
I was going to use the ginger beer to add a kind of spritzy, refreshing fizz to the drink. It's not really going to fit in, unfortunately. Yes.
Perfect, there we go. Make some space.
Get a new straw. Okay. Now let the ladder complete.
I must say, fun pineapple facts are my kind of fun. I prefer a fun pineapple fact to a pun fact. So I enjoyed that. And also, you know, who doesn't enjoy a pina colada? If anyone says they don't like pina colada, they're lying to make themselves look cool. So that brings us to the close of the first round of the Scale Up competition. So we are going to let the judges taste this final drink. We're going to probably have a little bit of a reset on the bar. What time are we back for the 4:15 for the start of the speed round? So do go over to the other end of the room, get yourselves a drink, enjoy responsibly, of course, but make sure you all do have a drink, because for the speed round we want to get really vocal, we want you guys to start making some noise, because these guys have now had a chance to talk to you, to express their cocktails to you, and now it's all about getting involved and making their drinks responsible. Guys, welcome back! This is your chance to make some noise, because these guys now have their opportunity to talk to the judges, to express themselves individually, to make their signature cocktails, and really give their chat about the brands, about their drink, about everything else they're doing. So now this round is not about talking anymore, it's about being fast. So it's a really important aspect for any bartender, of course, is to be able to make the drinks quickly and get them to the customer as quickly as possible, whilst at the same time maintaining the quality of their drinks. So we are now in our speed round, so we've got 3 drinks to make. So it is going to be a julep, a daiquiri, and a southside. So 3 cocktails to make in the fastest time possible. Sounds easy, really isn't. Trying to get these drinks done under pressure as quick as they can, it's likely to cause some mistakes. They're likely to make a mess. I want you guys to be as loud as possible and cheering as much as possible to get these guys going, get these guys pumped up as well. And of course, they still need to make a drink which is in fact palatable and drinkable and looks nice. So our judges are back again. Having deliberated on the signature cocktails, they are now ready to taste the drinks that are going to come at them hard and fast in the speed round. So there will be points deducted if it doesn't taste right, if it's not made properly, if it's missing garnishes, if it's not presented correctly. So there will be points for being the fastest, but the fastest does not necessarily always win, because if they get a lot of penalty points, clearly that's going to add to their time. And then we've got an incredibly scientific and complicated matrix, which I have not really understood myself, but to combine the points of these 2 rounds and find our overall winner. So we're going to go back into the same order as we had for the first round, but now it's all about getting your stretches done out the way, a few lunges. We don't want anyone pulling anything.
Where's that when you do the lunge?
Eh? I said we don't want anyone pulling anything here. I'm going to break my trousers. Great for the TV though. So we're welcoming back Alex. Living it up. He's had a bit of time between making his first cocktail in this round, so hopefully also slightly well lubricated by now, relaxed and ready to go. So are we going to have a count-in?
As soon as you touch either a bottle or a piece of equipment, you're on.
So first touch. I made that sound quite sensual, didn't I? So in your own time, take it away, Alex. Yeah, you can clap. Disaster strike. Right. Cheer them on, guys. Everyone resist. There is crushed ice everywhere behind the wall. I can't hear it, man. That's all right. Perfect. The classic technique of using the back of your horse or trainer. You faithful! Remember to put your hands up. So, 134.94. So, setting the benchmark today is Alex. And it gives everyone else 284. But, of course, that doesn't count the, any kind of any discounts for points, any time penalties for taste and presentation, which I'm sure they'll be done because I'm sure they tested it. So the judges are going to be looking particularly, they're looking like they're going to be particularly harsh in this round in terms of presentation and taste, because the only thing really that they care about is how quickly they get the drink. There's some interesting expressions happening. I'm not judging, I'm just loving it. So last time round, I think you all thought that he was going to start talking about something. As I said originally, there's no talking in this round, so you can keep cheering, guys. No awkward moments of silence, please. So next up is Alistair. Are you ready, Alistair? Feeling loose? Done your stretches? Done some yoga. It's good. Apparently that's the best practice for me around a cocktail competition. There are certain people out there doing yoga for bartenders I know nowadays. Not been along myself. As you can see, I'm not really the shape for yoga. But you know, it's available for anyone who is into yoga. So we're ready. So like I said before, the clock starts from the first time you touch a bottle or a piece of equipment. So in your own time, no rush. Actually, there is, because it's a speed competition. So I'll throw it over to you, mate. Equipment flying everywhere. Got this other stuff. Come on, lad. Oh, another stuck shaker. No one likes to see that in a speed round. Here we go. First drink's coming up. It's got some incredibly thirsty judges waiting. It's a self-rinsing glass, lovely. Garnish goes in. Now, garnish goes in. And the tulip, last to go. Let's get a round of applause, guys. Come on! Get him about the bar screen now. And that's it. 3 drinks. Go! Big round of applause, Walter. I'm not going to announce the rest of the time here because I want to build the suspense. These guys are making these drinks almost as fast as the judges can drink them. There is actually a bartender challenge known as the daiquiri competition. I don't know if any of you guys have had a go at the daiquiri competition before. What was your time, mate? It's 4. Fantastic. For the daiquiri competition, you have to make yourself a daiquiri, you have to serve it to the bar, you have to run around your own bar, drink the entire daiquiri, and your time is the combined time it takes you to make and drink the drink. Luckily for these guys, this time they don't have to make 3 drinks as part of their time. I did 17 seconds. I'm pretty quick. But only on the daiquiri, it's the only drink that I make fast. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Hold on a second, the judges are still heading their schools up. Let me have a quick drink while everyone loves the daiquiri, right? Go. I think we're ready. So, I want to take the rest of my daiquiri away from me. We've only got 2 hands, unfortunately. It's a shame there's no pineapple in this drink, otherwise it would show up everywhere, mate. So, back again is Tom from Scotland. So rules, you're happy, you've got as long as you want to get into it, but as soon as you touch a piece of equipment or a bottle, that's when your time starts, and then it's as fast as you can possibly be. So it's over to you, man.
Come on, Tom! Come on!
I think Tom's been practicing. Come on, Tom!
I love you, Tom.
Two up, just the jury to go. Garnish is important, remember, you lose points if you don't get in there. Felt quick, I don't know what the time's like there.
That's quick, mate. Yeah.
Just a quick word on the drink that these guys are making. They're making classic mint julep with making bar. They are making a classic daiquiri with Bacardi. And then finally a Southside cocktail with Mocha 47. Oh, sorry, with Daryl. So all theoretically making exactly the same drink. How much they all taste like each other is another question. That is what the judges need to decide on. So Danny is up next. During the break, he was telling me how incredibly confident he is. So no pressure at all. He said he was loose. He said he was ready. He said he was, he said he had this one at the back. Here we go, guys. Get chill. Showing some strong technique here. Come on, guys! Get chill! I'm sure every bartender will tell you the more you shout at them, the faster they get. First drink, sir. Finally, the garnish is going in. They're biodegradable straws, don't worry. How was that, darling? Yeah? Anyone who's thinking they can do it quicker than these guys, you know, you can't say that to the bigger money where you found it. This is what you've got a beer in your hand, you know, one of you guys in the car. Yeah, that's what I like. Come on in! Come on in! This is a good time to relax, reset a little bit. Have a glass of water, maybe. Also, bear in mind these guys are not working. They're used to working in their own bars. They're walking behind the bar. They're not familiar with. They're getting lost. They're finding things. They look. No, wait. Get the headaches up there, mate. It's just jump in. Up. Guys! Next competitor, it's good to see you get cupped up. Let's show that when he's actually making a drink. So next up, we've got Thomas back on the bar. He's ready, he's making puffs. You want to see it go? Let's let him go and get ready. Come on, guys, let's make some noise! As I said, shouting at bartenders makes them faster. Come on, lad. You can also wave your money around if you want. Come on, guys, give it up! Double shake there. Yeah, I'm gonna with it. A little bit of help from the audience there. Lovely. So the judges have got off their stools for the first time in about 3 hours. So you know, they can do that.
Can't sell it. Nice to be out. There were children crying.
Smart James made 6 shots of whiskey. That's what I like, the confidence of a man who's prepared to drink his own drink. It's fantastic. Some glassware, that's always useful. Although there is a certain Neil Webb who apparently doesn't need glassware for a speech round for a cocktail competition. So just pour all the ingredients into his mouth. Well, let's bring up. This. The rhythm's coming in. Getting in tune with the rhythm of the music. It'll stop halfway through your presentation, so fine. Well, I mean, that's a great thing to speak about. The judges are writing some stuff down, they're pretending to know what they're talking about. James is checking his phone. It's got somewhere important to be. Oh, that's so nice. Can I keep that? Oh, I'm just going to put it in my fridge. Just rip off my daughter's painting, and that's good. Just put yours up there. Guys, are we ready for the next one? I want to hear some boys this time around, okay? So we've got Ellie back. She's ready. She's got the rhythm going. She's limping around. If you can do it as fast as that beat, then you'll be well on the way. You'll be winning. Oh, there's the beat again. Are we good to go? Let's go! Chilling the glassware, not dropping on the quality. There we go! Went in the shaker. the most important bit's going in now. As I said, if you're near wherever you would just pour this straight to me. Come on, guys! Let's give it up! That is a nice full glass, that's what I want to see. Just the Julia left to go.
Go on the other one and say,
So the judges going back to their 40 round cocktails. Now these are the guys that know how to drink. Hey guys, so the reason that this round is in here, of course, is because these guys have made their signature drinks the first time round in the evenings. And you know, these are all the top guys who all their needs, so separate them from each other. In this round to try to make it better more really.
No one viewing it. Oh, no one viewing. Yeah. 6 months.
Enjoying yourself? This guy is quite on brand. Someone said brand Paul. He's a non-stop boxing machine. I've definitely tasted a lot of open farm with some of those tulips. Fantastic, very much enjoying it.
We've run out of room on that as well. Solid 6 hours as well. Super doing holiday, that's happening. 4 hours.
Good to see some of the sponsors getting involved. So, Chris, you ready? If you're shaking things this time, first time. Fantastic. So, again, first the guitar, that's when the time starts. Go for it. Come on, guys, let's go! You gonna make some noise on the road? Yes, everyone! Man on a mission! Woo! Bye, bye! First drinks up, still fine trading, still thinking my standard. I'm getting thirsty myself. I'm waiting for these chocolates to take it. We're getting into it now. Coming up for our last competitor. Before the judges go away, use all sorts of complex formula, calculators, things like this to figure out what the overall benefit. Sorry guys, I'm down at the deck. So you don't want to judge the team. That's the test. That's here, getting the bubbles already. Celebration premature. So guys, this is going to be our last competitor for the day. I want to hear all the noise in the room. So what shall we do? Side. And with the that's very talented. Guys, I'm going to get this out of the way before we finish, because by the time we finish, we've got there. So when we finish this round, we're going to have some more drinks in here, the bars in the back of the room, and then we're going to move to, we're going to have some food, we're going to have some more drinks, lots of there is literally everything going on, so it's going to be a great party. But before we go to that, finally, let's go for it! Let's keep the noise up, I've seen some of you bars before, you're noisy in the game.
He's not as handsome as you, Judge.
So you got an envelope? So I've got, I'm going to put a Sophia Loren, so I've got my listing here. And the winner of the stage, wild card. Woo! Is, see my man.
put your average.
See you.
Thank you very much,
Guys, the reason we're all here, so please, you know, we're going to carry on afterwards, we're going to have a party afterwards. So the reason we're here is actually for the guys who have been competing. So, you know, we all enjoy a few drinks, some bars and everything else, but hey, really the most important people today are bartenders who have competed in this competition, who put their heart into it, really done everything that we can ask for a group of people to make some fantastic drinks. I think all the judges agree with me that the quality and the standards is very high. So to announce this second.
So there wasn't originally going to be a prize for second place, but we thought actually you can pretty hard. Give you anything.
Yeah,
So a small award at the bottom of something for second place, and that goes to Amy.
She's done it already!
I'm just astonished for it. So this is literally my first competition.
Woo!
Everyone was so amazing. Everyone was completely the most amazing I've ever seen.
No, I think that's really important. You know, people who are I mean, my first competition was an absolute train wreck. So for that to be a competition.
I'll be drinking this all round. Thank you. Anyway.
So the winner. 5 days. 3 days in Kentucky. A couple of days in Chicago as well.
And they get to meet Joe!
It's not me, unfortunately. They get to meet me. They get to shake my hand, which is true. But no, these guys have won an incredible prize. I think it's really, but also, you know, the fact that they've come through this competition and got to where they are today, you know, it deserves all of our recognition.
So today's winners impressed us all pretty much throughout the whole day. The drink they made, their original drink was fantastic. It fit the brief, it fit everything we were looking for. And this person did pretty well in the speed round as well. Woo! So the winner of Stir It Up Matthew Clark 2018 is, drum roll.
Fucking amazing. Yeah. So this is being live streamed. Really good. Really good. Yeah, awesome. If anyone wants to come down Cardiff and have a drink, come down.
Where?